new trains mean new bus routes?
I wasn't aware of that.
What to prepare for ahead of this week's Green Line debut.
But first, no-wake restrictions are now in place on Prior Lake. In fact, that Southwest Metro Lake is the latest body of water stuck with restrictions because of our recent rains.
But in this case, people are pleased. In fact, some even wish that the rules would have kicked in earlier. They're among hundreds of folks whose homes surround Prior Lake and whose land is protected under the boating rules. 5 Eyewitness News reporter Jay Coles is live at the lake tonight to explain what these homeowners want. Jay?
Leah, you can see I'm standing on a dock in a marina here at Prior Lake. The water here is up over this dock. Now, I hope you can tell I've been working on these ankles, so I hope they look really good tonight. There's even minnows up here. A lot of the boaters around here, you know, they don't like the no-wake restrictions necessarily, but they understand them, and they understand they're not going to last very long. Tonight, we've learned city officials are willing to sit down and start discussing the possibility, however, of making those no-wake guidelines just a little bit tougher. With the rising water comes rising concern among homeowners about one thing they want to protect: their lakeshore property.
Today, with the wakeboard boats, you're looking at wakes of 2 and 3 feet that are doing a lot of damage. And from my standpoint, I wish they would lower the no-wake level. In other words, give us a little more protection on these shorelines.
Wes Mader has lived on Prior Lake over 20 years. He says he spent more than $50,000 on retaining walls.
We've had to replace our wall for the 3rd time because of the erosion under it that eventually causes it to tip over. And that gets pretty costly.
When Prior Lake hits its high water mark at 904 feet, the no-wake speed restrictions automatically kick in under city ordinance. Mader says boats are bigger, faster, and some designed to create bigger wakes than 20 years ago, and he's pushing the city now to lower the no-wake level below 904 feet.
The only way to protect it is to, minimize that wake when the water's high. And we were glad to see the no-wake provision go into effect today, but I would prefer it go into effect at a much lower level.
Mader says he loves to boat as much as anyone, but he believes if no-wake restrictions are not made tougher, Prior Lake, in time, will suffer greatly.
It's not something that's going to destroy the lake in 5 or 10 years, but over 100 years, it's hard to tell what this lake will be, given the erosion that's taking place.
And of course, they're all hoping this water recedes quicker rather than later. Now, the mayor of Prior Lake told me just a few hours ago that he intends to sit down with the city manager and discuss some of these ideas. He says the homeowners on this lake, and by the way, he boats on this lake as well, he says they've got some good ideas. He said they make some good points, and he'd like to discuss it very preliminary with the city manager, nothing official. And even if Prior Lake, as a city, were to move forward and increase or tighten those guidelines on the no-wake zones, it would still need DNR approval. Reporting live in Prior Lake, Jay Coles, 5 Eyewitness News.
And the water on Prior Lake right now is just a hair over that 904 feet above sea level mark, which is when the wake restrictions are put into place. Lake levels need to drop below that number for 3 straight days before that rule can be lifted. And for those of you who are waiting on Lake Minnetonka to go down, well, it hasn't dropped yet. And wake restrictions are still in effect there too, with levels just above 930 feet.
A Minnesota woman says she escaped